All right, guys. Gaius Julius Caesar's Commentaries on the Gallic War, Book 2, Commentary 25. Caesar proceeded after encouraging the 10th Legion to the right wing, where he perceived that his men were hard pressed, and that in consequence of the standards of the 12th Legion being collected together in one place, the crowded soldiers were a hindrance to themselves in the fight. That all the centurions of the 4th cohort were slain, and the standard bearer killed, the standard itself lost, almost all the centurions of the other cohorts either wounded or slain, and among them the chief centurion of the legion, P. Sextius Baculus, a very valiant man who was so exhausted by many and severe wounds that he was already unable to support himself. He likewise perceived that the rest were slackening their efforts, and that some, deserted by those in the rear, were retiring from the battle and avoiding the weapons. That the enemy, on the other hand, though advancing from the lower ground, were not relaxing in front, and were at the same time pressing hard on both flanks. He also perceived that the affair was at a crisis, and that there was not any reserve which could be brought up. Having therefore snatched a shield from one of the soldiers in the rear, for he himself had come without a shield, he advanced to the front of the line. Caesar advances to the front line. Crazy, huh? Front line. Insane. Insane. He advances to the front line, and addressing the centurions by name and encouraging the rest of the soldiers, he ordered them to carry forward the standards and extend the companies, that they might the more easily use their swords. On his arrival, as hope was brought to the soldiers and their courage restored. On his arrival, as hope was brought to the soldiers and their courage restored, whilst everyone for his own part, in the sight of his general, desired to exert his utmost energy, the impetuosity of the enemy was a little checked. The impetuosity of the enemy was a little checked. So impetuosity, the fact of tending to act or do things quickly and without thinking carefully about the results. So they're sort of, so the impetuosity of the enemy was a little checked. So Caesar addresses these centurions by name and encouraging the rest of the soldiers. And on his arrival, hope was brought to the soldiers and courage restored. Crazy, huh? Soldiers encourage when they see Caesar in the front line. Front line. Crazy, huh? Or I could encourage them. The front line.